Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we'll be taking a look at the Revelation Lighted Knife by Real Avid. Stay tuned. So I was walking around Walmart. One day I'm going to splice how many times they said that and put it together into one video that's probably going to be like an hour. Anyway, walking around Walmart and I came across this very unique product. A knife with a light on it. That's different. And you know, hey, if you got a gun, you could put a light on it. Hell, I see you put a knife on a gun. And why not put a light on a knife? So, kind of weird. There's a lot of propaganda here. Before opening this up, I'm not too impressed with it. You know, I figure, you know, it's hung on an end cap for the unbelievable low price of $34.97. It's Chinese made, according to the back here. It's owned by a company called Revo Brand Group LCC, but the company's name is Real Avid. You know, so I don't have much expectation for just first glance what I see here. Another thing that I notice is that Revelation has two water-sealed integrated LEDs. Now you can use both hands and still throw a 14,000 MCDs of brightness on your game. That sounds like a lot, don't it? Well, I did a little conversion on Google, and 14,000 MCDs comes out to be 14 lumens. Which is good, you know, it's not bad. And for MCDs, I had to figure out what that meant. That stands for millicandelas. So that's what all that is. When you see something like that, to me it sounds like you're trying to hide or you're embarrassed by the real number that we use as standards for most flashlights out there, which is lumens. And I guess they were embarrassed to put 14 lumens. I can't explain why they would use such a non-standard as far as packaging is concerned these days. There is a little comical write-up here on the back, which I really want to read, and then we'll go ahead and open this up. Necessity is often the mother of invention. So the question our nine-fingered friends has for you is, do you really need all 10 of your fingers? If the answer is yes, stop field dressing game in the dark and take along a Revelation lighted hunting knife. That's this. You can use both hands without sucking on a flashlight. What? Sucking on a flashlight's not fun? Okay, it shines light exactly where you need it. Unlike headlights, or you know, those headlamps or lights that clip to the out of your brim, your hat brim, you'll see internal organs better, and heaven forbid the occasional broadhead sooner. So a little comical thing, but it makes a lot of sense, and I could see that having lights here on the knife itself when you're inside cutting, it really gets the light down in there, so I can see there's definitely a real advantage of it. And Real Avid does have some videos on YouTube. I viewed them all, and they really showed it working. If you're a little squeamish about blood and guts, don't watch them, because they're showing it, which I think is good. But there's not many reviews that are not from Real Avid out there, so it's time to get a person who's not part of the company taking a look at this product. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we'll start taking a close look. This may be the toughest clamshell packaging I've ever encountered. It was pretty tough. So we'll go ahead and take the knife out there, and packaging here. It has one of them barcode things, so I guess if you get your phone you can do a scan of that and bring up some information. Now it does come with a sheath. Go ahead and pull that out. And it also comes with batteries. Now this may be like the first knife review or knife that I've ever reviewed that comes with batteries. They call this a battery pack. Let me put that right there. And I'll put the packaging aside, but this is crazy how this is not your average clamshell packing. This stuff is tough. Alright. Ballistic nylon sheath. I'll tell you what, while I got this in my hand, let's go ahead and take a look at it. It looks like it's single stitch, not double stitch, but has like plastic on the inside here with ballistic nylon covering it on the inside and out. There's no strap to strap it in. You have some, what do you call these, metal eyelets or whatever, so you can go ahead and lash it down with some 550 cord so it's not flopping around. But it looks like the only way to mount it is right through there on your belt. Let's see how it feels. We'll take the little protector off the tip, and let's see how that fits in there. That's a pretty tight fit. So I don't think you have to worry about that too much. So let's go ahead and take a look at the blade real quick. And the handle. The other side, you can see that the blade itself is a satin finish. They do make a titanium nitride coated blade also. Now in the satin finish that you see here, let me go ahead and hit the light. The satin finish here also comes with a version that has a gut hook in the standard orientation right here. But this is the plain version, the drop point version. Very classic design. Very good all-purpose design blade. And it is 4 inches long. Now the blade material is 440 stainless steel, which has a Rockwell hardness of about 57 to 59. It actually states it right there, all the way up in there in the handle. It actually says, yeah, just 440 stainless. There is something else here on the other side. It says AVRSS-WM, probably the actual model number, all tied up against the handle there. The overall length of this is 9 inches. And it's not too light, not too heavy. It's 8 ounces. And it feels very comfortable, very comfortable. There is a sort of a finger choil right here, so your hand just meshes in there. I have big hands and it's perfect. It's a perfect handle. It's pretty comfortable. And the jimping is actually very comfortable. It's grippy. It is very grippy. It lets your finger know it's there. That's pretty impressive jimping. I wish all knives had jimping like this. Also, just so you know, it is a full tang design right there, all the way through. You also get a sharpening choil right there, so you have to worry about dorking up your sharpening stone or messing up the shoulder of the blade. It makes it easy on us. It is a hollow grind that comes about 2/3 up. It leaves you some flat area here to clamp on your sharpening devices that clamp onto the blade. You have a lot of area right there. You could just really good thought out blade. And it looks like it's pretty good for hunting and adequate for, you know, well, very good for stripping, what do you call it, field dressing, I'm sorry, your deer. I don't hunt, so I don't know all those technical terms. It's, you know, it's not a traditional skinner altogether, which generally have a, you know, more of a belly, but it definitely will do the job. There is no doubt in my mind this will do what you need to do, and there are some videos on YouTube that make it quite evident that you can. Alright, let's take a quick look at my notes. I want to make sure that I covered everything. Again, I talked about the lights, which are located here, and we're going to have to put the batteries in, and we'll check those out here in a minute. They are recessed in there. They stick out, protrude the slightest little bit. They're supposed to be waterproof. There is a on-off switch right here. You can hear that. It's almost perfectly flush right there, so that's your on-off switch. You don't have to worry about setting that off because it's below your hand. So you gotta have like, you would have to have monster hands to accidentally get that. You would have to purposely bring your pinky back and hit that. Reverse grip, which is not really for this, you know, designed for this knife, is not the most comfortable because it's not rounded this way with the edge so your thumb would fold over. Instead you got this. But you know, if you choke back on there, it's you can do reverse grip with no problem. Holding it fine. It's a little bit thick right here. It doesn't thin out because of those lights on this rubber. By the way, this is a rubberized handle, but it's not a soft rubber. It feels like almost like a plastic, a soft plastic. So it's or it's an extremely hard rubber. So if it feels like it's going to hold up to the weather pretty good. It's not as grippy as I would think it is, but I mean it has some texture there for really good traction. And again, the finger choil, the jimping, all that together feels like you could get a good grip on it. I'll do a stab test into wood to see if my hand slips and it slices me. I'll take the chance. So let's go ahead and open this up. So the trick is you gotta, whoops, have a screwdriver, I guess, and open this up. So let me grab a screwdriver and I will be right back. I got a special screwdriver for the occasion. It's a General number 1700 lighted screwdriver for my lighted knife. I will go ahead and take out the screw. It says it's a brass screw, so we'll go ahead and take that out. Now they said it's waterproof, and it looks like they did a good job here. They put a gasket in here. Trust me, it's hard to see, but it's there. And this is the battery pack, and it looks like just a bunch of little let me see if I could read the number off these, because you probably, you know, you could go and order these battery packs, which cost $6.95, and you get them from, you get 2 replacement sets of batteries are available from Real Avid for only $6.95, shipping and handling included. You could call 1-800-286-0567, or I think what you could do is you can just probably tape together 4 of these little batteries. They look like they are LR754, if that makes sense. Looks like LR754 batteries that are just sort of linked together. They did put the number here on here to order the batteries. Anyway, I'm talking too long about batteries. Anyway, how am I supposed to put these in? They do have instructions here. They say to put they have a picture of the arrow going in first. It says place negative side of battery onto the battery compartment first. Okay, but they have a little arrow right there, and they show it going in like that, which I guess is the negative side in first. And then we'll put the screw in and tighten it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, just in case you forget. It's a very thin slotted screw. And I believe I already stripped it out, but not too much because it kept on turning. So there's one downside right there. So let's see if it works. There we go, we got some lights. That's 14 lumens, my friends. 14 powerful lumens. Right there. Let's, let me see if I can turn this on and off with my pinky. Yes, I can. Right there. But I have to really, you know, pull my hand back. Alright, not too bad. You know what, I do want to take this out. I'm really concerned that it stripped out so freaking easy. That's kind of a disappointment. And I want to see why. Well, the reason why is because the threads here that are inside are the hard rubber or plastic. So you have metal that's threaded into plastic. So I don't think that's a good design at all. I'm very disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I'm tempted to bring this back. That it strips out that easy. And it doesn't feel like it's flush either. But you know, it really sucks when something just doesn't live up to your standards. And I'm kind of picky though. I'm trying not to strip it anymore. But the screw does, you know, it's not sitting nice and flush. As you can see, it's not centered. I'm not crazy about that. Anyway, still works. So what I want to do now is go ahead and do a paper test, and we'll see how sharp it is. Oh, okay, it's very sharp. Very sharp. Let me see if I can push cut this guy. Wow, see that? That's crazy sharp. Very impressive. So, that's the cut test. Let's go ahead and do a stab test real quick. I have a piece of wood here. This is not really the ideal place to do this, but okay, let me just do some easy, just to make sure the tip doesn't break. This is not very hard wood. This is just a soft wood. I just want to make sure that the tip stays intact. Just from some very light stabbing. Just make sure there's no fundamental heat treatment problems, and it looks like it's perfectly fine right there. No problem. Also, this comes with a limited lifetime warranty. You gotta go to the website and read all that fun lawyer speak, and you can send it back and they'll replace it if there's a problem, like stripped. I'm not crazy about that. That's a design flaw right there. They should have made some sort of metal compartment or something. And this is made in China. Okay, it's coming close to wrapping things up. I was looking at some other material that came with this knife. They make this knife tool, or this tool here, this gun tool. If you remember, I reviewed a mossy oak tool. Looks exactly like that. Looks like mossy oak rebranded some, you know, a Chinese-made tool that they also have here that they call the gun tool. So, you know, I guess all these different companies just sort of buy stuff from the same Chinese factory and whatever. They do make a folding version, lighted folding version that has a really neat gut hook and blade and everything too. They got some interesting products. This is kind of groundbreaking, you know. It's very different. I really like to bring you very unique, different products every now and then, and this definitely fits the bill. So this, again, I want to go over the cons of this here, so if you're interested in buying it, you'll know what to expect here. Number one, there's nothing to strap this into the sheath. The sheath is like friction held. It holds it really, really good, and you can really get it in there tight where it's a little tricky to get out. I don't know if that will eventually loosen up where it can slip out easily. I was kind of disappointed a little bit in the texture of this. I would think that, you know, I thought this was a little bit of a softer grip, so, or softer scales on here, so that this pattern would provide really, really good traction. I think I would rather have the checker type of pattern or something like that in there, since it is harder than what I had imagined, although the handle shape as well as the jimping are very adequate in keeping your hand where you need to keep it. So that's not a problem. Really, The biggest problem I have with this is how easily I stripped out. You know, it's not stripped out to the point where it's really bad. It's still holding in there really good, and I don't think it's gonna come out. Well, I'll tell you what. It may have come out just a little bit. So that's not good, unfortunately. Because of that flaw, and I think engineering-wise that's really bad. I can't recommend this because of that. It would have been, I would have rated this probably about an 8 out of 10, the way it is, if everything was perfect. But because of that really bad design, metal that's threaded into plastic, it's losing some serious points now. I am going to give this a 3 out of 10, and I'm being generous because that's just terrible. Well, it would have been a really good design. So I think this is like the... Uh-oh. It's not even lighting. Maybe I gotta screw this in really tight. Let me see if I can screw that in tighter and bring it back to life. And it's stripping. There we go. So, personally, I'm gonna bring this back, get my $34.97 back. It's very disappointing. I really wanted to like this knife. It comes razor sharp, let me tell you. Just about shaving. It's not shaving sharp, but it's push cut through paper sharp. So, not recommended, and sorry about that. I hope the folks that have it make a little change there, and then they'll have themselves an excellent product. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I will see you next Tuesday.